And I was posted in a dorm one time, right? And it was one of the back dorms, and so I'd be folding clothes, and one time I was folding clothes, and I looked under the dorm, and I just see a shadow just pacing back and forth. I wouldn't see anything up on the window. I would just see like if somebody would be walking under if you would see someone walk by under a door. I actually saw a shadow be walking on the opposite on the other side of the door in the breezeway, but just walking back and forth, pacing, and that was that was really weird. I'm the only one that's there. I'm the only one awake. I'm folding clothes. All the kids are asleep. There's no explanation.
And was there a way for them to exit their holding rooms when, after hours, or were they locked at a certain time?
Okay, so when they're on post adjudication, they're all inside a dorm. So there's no cells. It's an open bay. Uh, the only place that we have cells is when they're in something called solitary confinement.
Hmm.
So that's when they do have cells, and that's usually for detention and the kids that are in isolation, meaning that they could be on suicide watch or they could be on in a in a sleepover. There's no room inside the other two dorms that are that we can place them there inside a cell. You know,
So
but
in the dorms where they stay, um, you said it's all open space. So do they have their lunch room and everything in that same area, or do they actually have to exit the dormitory to get to those?
okay, so they have their lunch inside the dorm. So they'll go. The other officers will actually welcome to the kitchen. They'll get their tray. They'll return back to their dorm. They'll eat there. They'll throw their plates inside the trash, and and that's really it. And they have the restroom is towards the back of the dorm. Um, yeah, uh, it's just an open space. The only one that's more private for the kids is when they're in detention and they have their own cells and they have their bathroom in there. They have their bed in there, but they do come out. And they actually do their program. But when they get their lunch, they gotta go back. Everybody goes back to their dorm and eat in their dorm.
So where you saw the shadow pacing back and forth, was there any way that any of the juveniles that were there to have access to that area at the time that you were there folding clothes?
No, because we secure the outer hatch and the inner hatch. So there's no escape. There's no way any of the kids can go through it. The only times they're able to go through is that if if an officer calls it in, and the control officer will actually open the door.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sense of it because, kids are sneaky.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, no, no. We tend to to secure all the hatches and all that, and have them in that confined space. And then in that same dorm, in the same thing, I was folding laundry. I finished folding the laundry, right? And I took the laundry out, and back then we would actually post the laundry outside of the dorm. We would open one hatch, we would open the outer hatch, we would post the laundry, we would secure it. So as soon as I secured the door, I looked off to the side, and I saw a girl. The girl had her hair to the front. Her arms were wrapped around her legs, like if she was crying or something. So I quickly secured the inner hatch, right? I'm like, all right, you better not come in here because we're 17 with me, and that really freaked me out because I've never seen an an entity like that,
Hmm.
and that's like, wow, was it was wild, you know. Could I have done something? No, I couldn't have. And I was in. Why am I gonna grab the girl if the females are separate from the males? So
Yeah.
I knew there's no females in that dorm.
So this was the first time you seen like a full body apparition in that
Yes,
area.
yes. And so I told the nurse and the story, right? And she looks at me. She like she froze, right? And she goes, "Well, what was she wearing?" And I looked at her. I go, "She was wearing a dress." And more or less, I want to say the early 1900s dress. Early 1900s, maybe mid 1900s. And she goes, "Wow, I can't believe it. We never." About this. And she goes, "Well, this other nurse, she told her that she saw that same girl standing next to the med cart." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, that girl was standing next to the med cart."
Wow.
Yeah,
So so is this the first apparition that somebody else saw?
yes, yes. And well, I was like impressed myself. How can it's funny that I saw that same girl, and this nurse also saw that same girl as well.
Yeah.
Was it like a sigh
That,
of relief?
Huh?
Was it like a sigh of relief to know that
Well,
someone else sees it?
no, it was more like I'm not. At least I'm not the only one seeing things around here. At least I'm not the only one talking crazy.
Right.
Like all these uh, ghosts and the sixth sense and demons and all that. It's for some reason or other, it's still being taboo. It's still taboo. A lot of people are very skeptical. A lot of people don't believe. A lot of people uh, would say, "Oh, they'll bring out the scientific reasoning behind it," and they just don't believe.